Hi, welcome to Monday, the 11th of November, a picture-perfect day. I thought I'd go outside again. Just magnificent weather the last 3 or 4 days here, just north of Phuket. Very happy to bring a bit of sunshine to you today. Let's get into a variety of stories. We'll start in Phuket. British bikers nabbed for disturbance in Phuket. And a caption there on the photo, police pose with a group of British nationals who were apprehended in Phuket on Thursday. The disturbances were reported around 1 a.m. Thursday as the group rode their motorcycles in a reckless and noisy manner on Koh San Road, heading towards the city district of the resort island. Police were able to locate the bikers the following day. The individuals had rented the bikes from Patong area for their late-night joyride. I think one of the key problems here is that a lot of people right around Thailand can rent sometimes very highly powered bikes, and often without needing to produce a driving license, proving that you could drive a motorcycle, or especially by law drive a motorcycle in Thailand. Now, if you have an accident in one of these situations, the insurance company is not going to cover you. So quite a few issues to unravel here. And all 9 were summoned to the police station where they faced charges of disturbing the peace. Well, disturbing the peace, they'll get a small fine and perhaps a rap over the knuckles, but at least none of them had an accident. And just another good reminder here in the article talking about the around-the-clock tourist assistance via the 1155 hotline. This is the tourist police and available in 5 languages: Chinese, Japanese, Korean, English and Russian, and they've got plans to add German, French and Hindi. So it sort of depends where you are in Thailand and the availability of volunteers that speak different languages, but it is good to know that you've always got that 1155 hotline if you are in Thailand and you do need a bit of emergency help. Now let's get to the latest on the Icon Group scam. Cowsod English on their Facebook page reporting that as of November the 10th, this is yesterday at 1 p.m, the total accumulated number of victims nationwide in Thailand and nearly 10,500 people. Total damages have amounted to 3.213 million baht, 3.2 billion baht basically, and 3,671 victims have already given their statements to investigators, with documented damages so far approximately 1.235 million baht. So damages starting to really rack up in this Icon scam. I'm sure there's more to come, and as they dig deeper, I think we'll probably see more people at more levels in the political spectrum being involved. A beautiful sunny Monday where I am in Thailand, and a big thanks to our sponsor 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. Travelled out with them a couple of weeks ago now on their Luminescence tour. I've actually got a couple of guests staying with me at the moment, and they're going to be heading out on the Luminescence tour. So it's just one of the many tours provided by 5 Star Marine out on Panga Bay and beyond. If you'd like to go on a bespoke private tour from 5 Star Marine out of Phuket, then I can warmly recommend you jump onto that website and give them a call. And just a couple of articles now indicative of the growth of traffic in 1, Bangkok, and 2, Phuket. We go to Thai PBS World to start with. Use of Bangkok train system hits 1-day record. This was last Friday. The number of passengers using the electric train system in Bangkok and its suburbs reached a new high of 1.8 million. This happened last Friday. And there's a list of the lines with all the traffic which hit records. Busiest was the BTS Green Line with nearly 900,000 passengers in 1 day. What is the BTS Green Line? Well, it is the longest line, and it's the one that probably most of you are most familiar with. Now it extends all the way from Koh Kot, comes down past the Don Mueang Airport from the north, heading down towards Bangkok. It meets with the airport link at Pattaya, then comes through Siam, the central station there, then meanders down southeast of Bangkok, making its way along the Chao Phraya all the way down to Keha BTS station. So a lot of people in Bangkok using the BTS and the MRT at the moment, but there's also an indication of a large number of people passing through Phuket. The Bangkok Post reporting Phuket Airport notches 300 daily flights. It looks like a relatively recent photo of the domestic terminal at Phuket Airport. There are two terminals, that's the domestic one. And let me just share with you that I've been to the airport a couple of times over the last week and it is rammed at the moment. Getting into the car parks, they were way oversubscribed already. There weren't any car spots and a lot of people parking behind other cars, with the in neutral so you can push the car backwards and forwards. Just a total mess, a complete lack of car parking, let alone some of the chaos within the terminals. And the Phuket Airport director says that the airport currently takes about 30,000 international passengers and 17 to 19,000 domestic passengers per day. And the number of flights to Phuket has also returned to pre-COVID levels, with an average of 300 flights per day, although the airport can handle, he says, 600 flights a day. Well, maybe in a perfect world on paper you might be able to get 600 flights into Phuket per day, but in reality they really can't take any more than they've already got. They might be able to get more planes landing a little bit closer, whatever, but it's the chaos in the car parks and people getting to vans. Everybody trying to get a ride-hailing app has to go outside of the airport. And they've made it much more difficult because they've lined the roads just outside the airport with witches' hats so they can't park there. So they're trying to make it as difficult as they possibly can for people to take an alternative to the taxi mafia and Grab Taxi, who have already sold their soul by putting all their charges up to equal the taxis at the Phuket airport. So they've got a few other problems they need to sort out before they start trying to get 600 flights a day into Phuket. And the airport director finished by saying by the end of this year, passenger numbers are expected to reach at least 16 million, with an expectation of at least 18 million next year. So you tell me, if you've been through Phuket Airport lately, what's been your experience? In the terminals, immigration and stuff, I think they do a pretty good job these days, but it's the chaos in the car parks and outside in the arrival area that I think really needs to be improved. Let's talk about weather, and we'll go to the Venture Sky map, and it's, well, equally busy. And up in the northwest Pacific, specifically the South China Sea, we've got Yinxing, we've got Taraji, and one codenamed 94W at the moment. Two of them have already been declared typhoon strength and making their presence felt. Let's go to the actual map and see where they're heading. Doesn't look like any of them are going to significantly impact Thailand at the moment, but certainly very, very late in the year. We've got three tropical storms verging on typhoons in the area, and that really is quite a surprise, because the typhoon season in this area is usually over by this time of the year. Okay, again, well, back to Phuket. This is from the Bangkok Post, and another one of these worrying crypto theft stories. Ukrainian robbed of 8 million baht in digital money in Phuket. A terrifying caption there. Ropes and tape were left at a crime scene in Phuket. And a Ukrainian man told police he visited a friend's room on this southern tourist island and was forced to transfer cryptocurrency valued at more than 8 million baht to a group of armed men. The 23-year-old victim told police at the Kamala station yesterday that his Ukrainian friend, who was only 18, invited him to pay a visit to his friend's room at around 10:45 on Friday. And, well, long story short, two men with faces covered tied his limbs with ropes and cable ties. The victim said that Mr. Arman told him to transfer 500,000 USDT, get to that in a sec, otherwise they'd break his fingers. Mr. Arman held a hammer and the man who covered his face had a long knife. And the victim said he asked the gang to halve the ransom after he made the transfer, valued around 8.5 million baht. The gang tied him to the bed, warned him not to report the crime, collected their belongings and left. And the victim said he eventually managed to free himself and found out from the hotel's reception that the two men had rented the room. And what is USDT? Well, USDT is the symbol for tether, a cryptocurrency that's pegged to the US dollar. This means that USDT is a stable coin, fluctuating in value with the US dollar and backed by Tether's dollar reserves. It's become almost a daily occurrence. We get these crypto thefts, not necessarily a scam, but of a list of ways that you can be parted from your money. Which takes us to this story. It's in thepattianews.com. In their legal corner, 10 common scams in Thailand to watch out for. Well, I could spend the next half hour going through some of them in this particular story, but I'm going to put a link in the description. Some of them you'll know, some of them I think you'll find are new, but certainly a good reminder to keep up with the scams that might be around, well, not only here in Thailand, particularly online scams these days, so please beware. And with that, as a motorcycle goes by, I thank you very much for tuning in today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Beautiful weather, and a reminder to take advantage of 5-Star Marine if you are coming down to the south for one of their trips out on Panga Bay. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.